Cathy McLeish, Alcoholism Unpacked. I've been sober 37 years. This video is a little different. It's just from my heart. I'm feeling a little grateful. I'm sitting in a hotel near Chicago, and I'm here in town with my husband. We're visiting our youngest daughter and their baby that is 8 months old. And let me just tell you, when I got sober 37 years ago, and I was trying to put down a drink a day at a time, I was living with an alcoholic who was still drinking, my first husband. I drank neck and neck with him, and just by grace, I got sober first because somebody had to do it or our family was going to go under. It was domestic violence. It was just a horrible situation to have 4 kids, and we were blessed to have one person get sober, and then he got sober 8 months down the line. But I'm trying a day at a time to stay sober in an alcoholic atmosphere, and I don't even know what's ahead. In fact, I'm pretty much full of fear all the time. Fear of the unknown, fear of how this is all going to turn out, fear of if I've even made the right decision or if I should go back to drink. I can remember one night at the dinner table, I got up and I walked away, and he came after me and just backed me into a corner, and he poured a beer over my head and said, "Cathy, will you drink? Will you just drink? That's what we do." And it certainly was. That is what we had always done, from our dating to our marriage to 8 years down the road. That is what we had always done. And that is what had dug us into that ditch we were in. And today I sit here and I'm thinking about my life, and through the recovery years that I've had, has it been easy? It has not been easy. I can be very cheerful today. I can be very positive. I can have wisdom that I have gained over the years, none of which is my own. It all came from somebody else. And I can look like I am a person that is totally confident and totally blessed. And in a sense, I am. But that was a process that came over so many years of taking the next step, walking through fear, doing something over and over again that I did not want to do, and then reaping the benefits, so many benefits. Today, I have 4 beautiful daughters that are happy and healthy, the youngest of which we're visiting. And when she was born, it was my second marriage. I had married somebody in recovery, and we had this daughter, and she was our second, and she had special needs, and she had 5 different therapists, and I chose not to work out of the house, but to just dedicate my time to trying to help this girl to get on the right track, because they promised if we did that was a possibility. And I knew about promises, that if I did the work, I would get what I was promised at the end. I had lived that in sobriety at that time for quite a few years. And so my husband and I did everything that we possibly could do for our daughter through that process. And, she is a doctor today. She's a doctor of occupational therapy. And I am not saying that to brag. I am so seriously not. I am saying that to be inspirational, that if you do the hard things, if you walk through your fears, if you believe that, like I'm saying, there is something so much better out there, if you desire to go for it one action at a time, you can have not this life, maybe this life wouldn't even appeal to you, but you can have the life that you want to have, that you want to work for, that you've dreamt of, that can happen with some action, with some different choices, one stacked on top of each other. So I feel very grateful today. I feel grateful that my relationships have been healed. I feel grateful that instead of being the couple that was invited to family gatherings and asked to bring little or nothing because we never showed up, if we did, they were almost wishing we weren't there. Now we are the couple that can host events for a big family. We are people that can be counted on. We are people that can offer the excess of what we have to other people to help them build better lives in recovery. So I feel very grateful. I want to say it didn't happen without some pain. I had 7 years after that first marriage failed where I was a single mom. And I was just thinking about it today, because there were cleaning women outside in this hall, and I was a cleaning woman for years. I would go to people's houses and I would clean their homes. I was a waitress in a restaurant. At the same time, I waited tables. And there were times when I felt like everything I do is at somebody else's benefit. And yet the whole time I was reaping benefits for myself, a month at a time, a year at a time, growing in character, growing in stamina, knowing how to work for what I needed, to hold my head up while I was doing it, and then to feel the accomplishment and the character building of actually doing the next right thing and moving forward. So was it easy? No, but I'll tell you what, it was easier then. It was easier than living the life that I was living. It was so much easier than living the life that I was living. I was more in charge. And not to say I was in charge, because I don't even feel that way today. I would much rather something bigger than me be in charge of my life. But I was in charge to show up. I was in charge to be responsible. I was in charge to always answer to somebody else, some people that have walked the walk before me and that had done what I wanted to do in my life and done it well. I did that in the area of recovery. I did that in the area of parenting. I did it in the area of finances, in the area of marriage over and over again, so that instead of having a second failed marriage, I could have a marriage where I not only stayed married, but I was very happy to be married to that man. And that takes a lot of work.